Good morning, everyone. It's Valerie, otherwise known as Guess Who? Chick Picker. Chick Picker. Since Todd's not here to give me the echo sound, I don't know where he's at. Good morning. Just trying to get things popping here. Let me go find the chat real quick since I'm all alone. Where's all my cohorts? Let's see. Where is the chat? Chat. Stream now. There's the chat. How's everybody doing this morning? Doing good. A little tired, but that's okay.
A little tired.
There you are.
Here I are.
Here I are. How you doing?
Good morning. I am okay.
Well, that's good to hear. Let's see, we got Hank.
Hank?
And we got some Hank Allen Cash in here. And some Swamp Picker. And some Texas Val. And some Mary O.
Mary O.
Good morning, good morning.
Chick Picker.
Oh my goodness. Good morning, Teresa. Okay, Hank. Gotta dry the hair. Need both hands. There you go. How you doing, Todd?
Man, I worked up a sweat here packing my orders, man.
It was, for me, it was a pretty busy weekend.
I didn't have very many, but had some bulky stuff, so it was like cutting boxes and packing crap, packing stuffing and taping, and just it's pretty sad when you're so out of shape you get work up a sweat packing your orders. But whatever. Not a big sweat.
Yep. I got somebody already telling me, please send tracking information. Well, your stuff ain't even packed up yet. It's going out today. I haven't got that far yet. Elvis, Ringo, and now. Yeah, your stuff is still in the works.
And
it was a vacation day yesterday, so.
I just packed up a curling iron.
Aha.
This morning, and I got a message saying, "Oh, I didn't realize this was used." I only wanted a new one, and then so I was like, "Frickin' rack snacking!" So I was going to go in and cancel the label. And right when it was doing that, I got another message. I thought, I bet it's that stupid lady again. And sure enough, she said, "Oh, I read your description. This is a store return, probably not you." Okay, I'll go ahead and take it.
Oh my gosh.
So like, well, I'm glad I didn't cancel the label. So
yeah,
customers are goofy.
Yeah. Or I love it when they buy something and then after they buy it and pay for it, and then they start asking all these questions about, like, well, how long is it, or what's the size? I'm like, what did you do? Just close your eyes and just pick eeny, meeny, miny, moe and just pick one? It's like, oh my gosh. Morning, Sally.
We need to save we need to save customer messages and put little stories with them, and
I tell you what,
do a whole long video about them. Because there's some doozies, you know. Anyway.
Yep, there definitely are. How you doing this morning, Sally?
Right. Yesterday I had one to send out, okay? And this morning I woke up and I had 7.
Woo!
I know.
Yeah. Yesterday,
like, yeah.
Me too. I only had like 5 or 6 from Saturday and Sunday. Like, well, frack snacker crack up. That was a sorry Labor Day weekend. Then yesterday I sold $300 worth of crap.
Holy moly!
Wow.
I was like, that was good.
Well, I didn't make my goal of 30, but I did. I have 27 going out today.
That's awesome.
So
see, you almost got that.
I'm damn near there.
Yeah. That's awesome. Good job.
Oh, wow. Mary says, I wanted to let you all know I will be quitting eBay. I have a job offer and it will take up my time that I do eBay.
Yeah, you're lying.
From you all. I start
Mary.
You know what, though? I mean, if that's, if it's a good job offer and you feel like that is the way that you need to go, then, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not. And especially if you're going to be happy doing that. It's right. About your happiness.
And you could still do eBay on the side if you wanted to, a few things here and there. There's nothing wrong with that. Just keep it as a hobby, and then maybe someday, you'll get back to it.
Yeah.
You keep it as an open,
Yeah.
Your fun money,
We will definitely miss you.
But I understand. I mean, that's going to take up all your time, and you won't have much time to do a whole lot of thrifting and everything. But yeah, just kind of think about it. I'm happy for you. We will definitely miss you. And executive assistant to a VIP of a construction company. That's awesome.
Good job.
That's an amazing opportunity for you. And yes, you will be busy.
Mm-hmm.
So but that's an amazing opportunity. And but yeah, just know that we're always here if you want to pop in sometime. If you have the day off and you want to pop in and say hi, we'll always be here. So
yeah.
And just because you're not a reseller doesn't mean you can't come in and say hi. You're a friend, your family. So
plus, you probably got a whole bunch of back stock left to sell through that you might as well leave it up on eBay and get your money out of what you've already invested.
Yeah, let it sell off. Maybe put a 5-day handling time or something on there, so that way if you do get a sale, But I'm happy for you. When you get an opportunity like that, sometimes it's hard to pass up, especially when you have a family to take care of, and you gotta do whatever you gotta do to make ends meet. So I get it. Yeah. So okay, so I have 27 to go out, and I haven't done any shipping.
I know what you're doing after the show.
Yeah, I'll do all my shipping after.
So just start with your stuff that needed to go out yesterday.
Yes. yesterday. Yesterday was a holiday.
Well, I know, but start your stuff like as if you were shipping yesterday. Like stuff from.
Well, I just have a whole list. I have my eBay list and I have my Poshmark list, and I just start from the top and go down the line.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure my postman will be happy that, because I'll probably take it all in. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he'll. You know, he don't even know it, but he has a good reason to be happy.
Right.
Usually when he comes by, he'll scan it all, and then he'll take it back to the post office, and then he'll come back and continue on his regular route, because he doesn't usually have room for all those packages. So that's fine. It's all good. But yeah, I'm sad that I didn't make the 30, but what I'm hoping for is that, you know, there's still time, so I can still get three orders.
Yeah.
So I might make it. Morning, Nikki and Maggie,
and Karen,
and David, the Truth, and Mary.
Good.
I hope everybody's having a good day. I did get my 20 listed yesterday. Plus, I listed those 20, cross-listed everything to Poshmark. So, basically, I listed 40 things.
We'll see how that works out.
Yeah. I know, Nikki, 3 away from my goal. And I will tell you, it was I mean, definitely clothing, but also, like, I sold that Fireball or Fireshine decanter. Moonshine.
Oh, what?
It was like a moonshine decanter.
Right.
I sold that. I sold some paint. Sold some earrings, a microwave plate, a tie, some shoes, some canoe muffin flatware, more shoes.
Just a little bit of everything, huh?
I sold a little bit of everything. So I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing to sneeze at. So
my day was kind of just messed up, like it is all. It seems like I should just plan for it to be messed up, you know, on the first day. I really should, because it's like every single time I laugh, the first day is just worthless, pretty much. You know, and if I'm awake or asleep, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
It's like just having to deal with myself is enough.
Well, you got to rest up a day anyway after a long.
Well, this is true, and I actually I had a little problem yesterday because I was trying to massage my own back, and I used the massager that I got at the Goodwill the other day, which is a big old thumper, right? Well, so I didn't know like how hot. I mean, I tested the heat and everything, and the heat worked. That's all I knew. Well, I burned myself. After I did it and I went to sleep for a little bit, I woke up 2 hours later, and I had blisters on my back. So yeah, so I had Brandon put some burn cream on me and stuff, and it doesn't feel bad today. It's a little tender, and that's it, but
yeah,
it's not bad. But Valerie's like, I'd throw that damn thing in the trash.
That's what
And I'm like, no. you know, whenever you use a massager nearly every day, you take advantage of finding something that has really good heat to it. You know,
Right.
I just know now that I can't put it on high heat. I just have to keep it at half or something.
Yeah, because I was like, yeah, and don't be singing that thing. Don't be listing that thing because you'll
No,
get
I won't be.
back and somebody will be, you know.
Yeah,
burned.
when I'm done with it, it will go in the trash. But until
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, if you know, I worry about you because, you know, because of the diabetes and
Yeah.
having burns, it's really hard to, you know.
I don't find myself
to heal.
I don't find myself having a hard time healing or anything like that. Like when I get a scrape or a scratch or something and, you know, it breaks the skin. No, I was using it on bare skin, Hank. That was probably another reason.
Yeah.
But when I scratch or nick myself or something and it breaks the skin, I don't find myself that I have a hard time healing or anything like that. But I know with diabetes, it's you know, more likely that you're not going to heal, you know, fast.
Be careful.
Yeah, actually, this thumper is like really heavy, and so I just sat it on my back. So that was probably another reason. She had to drop the dryer to see what was going on in here.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad that you had some burn cream that you could put on it.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, I'm fine. It'd be all right.
Hey, Mr. Tom.
Good morning. How are y'all?
How you doing?
Good.
I'm doing good, I guess.
Yes.
Y'all healed up?
Pardon me?
Y'all healed up?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. He was doing the Macarena on the kitchen floor the other night.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And he threw something out of place.
I busted my bookie is what I did when I hit that damn floor.
Oh my gosh.
We have ceramic tile on our kitchen floor. And if it gets wet, it gets slick.
It doesn't give very much either.
Pardon me?
It doesn't give very much when you hit it either.
No, it doesn't. And you should never have small children with that kind of floor either, because if they drop something, it's gone.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better. Are you on ibuprofen regimen?
Yeah, yeah, and then I have some meds too that I took, and I'll be okay.
Good.
If you got water wings, get them listed.
You got what?
If you have water wings or water toys, get them listed. I sold 3 packs last night. Somebody in Washington State.
Oh my goodness.
I got goggles.
Wow.
Yep. There you go.
Oh, he's got his
There
goggles.
you go, Todd.
He got his beer
goggles
goggles.
to sell. Swim
Beer
goggles.
Oh.
And snorkels. I got snorkels.
Oh, you're going to snorkel, huh?
Not me.
Do any of you do thank you cards in your eBay packages?
I suck.
I fold up a note. I print off about 30 of these a month or 50 of these a month and just put them in. It just says, thank you. If you have any problems, let me know. That type of deal. Just fold one of those up in every package I've seen.
I should do something like that. I don't. I don't.
I sent a copy of the pack. I sent a packing slip, and at the bottom of it, in a blue pen, I write thank you for your purchase.
Yeah.
Please let me know if there's anything I can help you with. That's it.
Probably should. I've been thinking about making maybe just like a business card or something and put in it, but I don't know.
I try to do thank you cards, and I write their name on it and stuff, right, and say thank you, Sally. You know, just it's pretty simple, but when Brandon does the packaging, he doesn't do that, of course.
Yeah.
Well, you need teaching the process.
So I try to, anyways.
Yeah, Maggie says I include the packing slip with a printed message on the bottom. I've had packages get torn but still arrive because the packing slip was inside with the address on it. That's a good idea. Mary uses thank you stickers.
Yeah.
I'm lazy.
I use the stickers, and I put the tissue paper around the thing, and then I use the stickers on it.
Yeah, I usually don't put anything in there. They're lucky they get tissue paper. No, but I should do something like that. I should do a packing slip.
I mean, really, how much does it really matter if, you know, as long as the package gets there all right and everything, you know?
Yeah. So this was my big sale yesterday.
What did you sell?
I sold one of those cat figurine things.
Oh.
Oh.
Nice.
Good job, Todd.
$134.10.
Yeah, they paid full price, but I paid for the shipping. So.
Wow.
That's awesome, Todd.
Very
good job.
Remember when I got these at that rummage sale about 2 months ago?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the big ones.
Now, what did you pay for those, if you don't mind saying?
For this one, I paid $1.
Wow.
For the little ones, I paid 50 cents.
Wow. That's a great return on investment.
Yeah, I spent maybe $8 for these.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably made $250 profit.
Nice. Did it go to the States, or did it
Yeah, it went to Illinois. Illinois.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Good job.
Now that one wasn't on auction.
No, I had it on auction, and then it went off auction, and I had it for like $180 or best offer, and I never got an offer, and then I put it for $134, and then I took off best offer, and it sold.
Nice.
So that's good.
Very good. Good job. That was some good thinking. So, needless to say, I probably won't be going on a thrifting. I don't know. Depends on how I feel later after I get my shipping done and everything.
Yeah.
Because I was planning on going to the thrift store today, but I don't know.
The Goodwill.
Yeah. Yeah, I was planning on going over there, but I don't know. We'll have to see how I feel this afternoon.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably how long it'll take me to package up all these packages. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Hank says, well, that sound made up for the original catastrophe.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we won't forget about that, but we won't say nothing either.
So I went on an online auction yesterday, and every time something I wanted to bid on came up, my internet would shut off.
Oh no.
And stay off for about a minute, and then it would come back on, and that item would have passed the time limit thing.
Wow.
So I said a lot of frickin' snack.
Oh, I bet.
So I went ahead and bought, I got 3 lots. So, but I was like, I got a lot of vintage toys, and I got a lot of Coca-Cola pants. They're pretty
Just
cool.
so y'all know, Dollar General is having a clearance event this weekend, Friday to Sunday. So you get, it's like a lot of their clearance stuff that is already on clearance is 50% off, plus you get another 50% off. So if it's $3 and you get 50% off, that's $1.50, plus you get 50% off of that. So 75 cents.
Nice.
Maggie, quit buying, sell what I've got, right?
Well, that ain't no fun.
I know. So now I got to drive 70 miles both ways to pick up $40 worth of purchases.
I cannot hear with the crap this morning. Did you say you got to drive 70 miles both ways to pick up $40 worth of cookies?
I'm pretty sure he doesn't say that.
Let me try this and see if this helps any. I think my speakers are going bad.
You too, Maggie. Have a good day, Maggie.
Bye, Maggie.
Oh, that's better.
Because you just got cookies on the brain.
No,
not me.
I want some cookies in my stomach.
Well, let's see here. Trying to update my to-do list here.
Mm-hmm.
When are you going to? When are you headed this way, or wherever, Texas, or wherever the heck you're going?
I'll be in North Carolina June 21st. I fly there on the 21st.
So you coming here before you go to Texas?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just going there last.
I'm going to Texas. No. I'm going to Texas. No. I'm going to Texas the 17th to the 21st. And then I'm going to Charlotte on the 20th. I'll be flying in on there on the 21st of June. So from Texas, I'm going to Charlotte.
Okay, well, when you come out this time, let's get together. I start to say, let's.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'll buy you lunch.
No doubt about it.
Let's just say, let's hook up. But I said, no, let's get together.
Well, I would know what you're saying. I would get it. I wouldn't put it that way.
Yeah, you know how some of these people are, though.
I
Oh
know.
my
They
God, we
read
got something
between
going. He's
lines.
a married man.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's do that. I'll buy you lunch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're planning on going to there's a thing, it's a Wizard of Oz thing.
Yeah, the Land of Oz.
I think we're gonna go up there and do that.
That's cool.
Because I should be there. I should be there 2 weekends. So I mean, they charge an arm and a leg for it. I think it's like $27.50 for each person, and then kids under 2 are free. So everybody's gonna have to pay. That's okay. I think it'd be worth it.
Like, yeah.
It's there used to be an amusement park up there. And because I remember going there when I was a kid. Well, I was a teenager. And what they were trying to do is they were trying to get some activity on top of the mountain when ski season wasn't in.
Okay.
Because you're literally on top of Beach Mountain. So you would take the gondolas up to the top, and you would enter Dorothy's house in the normal side, and then when you went out the other door at the back of the house, you know, she was in the Land of Oz. So it's really cute.
That is cute.
You think it's worth $27?
You know, unless they got a bunch of stuff going on up there, I don't think I would pay $27.
Yeah.
I mean, because the last time, when you can see YouTube videos of where people have gone up there for this special thing that they have,
right?
And it's basically just a tour of the old park. Now they might have changed it. They might have got some stuff going on up there this time of year. I mean, this time, but I'd research it out. I mean,
well, I mean, if nothing else, it'd be something to experience. It probably wouldn't be one thing that you would go to, you know, a multiple of times. But yeah, definitely. You know.
Well, you'd go this time because the kids are little, and you'd probably never go again.
Right.
Because I mean, it's just like I said, unless they've got some stuff going on up there, it's just.
Hank says kids 2 and under are free.
Yeah, there's no babies under 2.
How old are your grandkids?
Maddie's 2, and Maddie's 2, and the twins are 3. So 2 and under. I guess she would fall into that 2 and under.
Yeah.
So I guess that would work. The Lazy 5 Ranch. Huh. I can look at that. I have to look at that. They could look under. Or the Discovery Place. Yeah.
Yeah, Discovery Place is nice.
And we might have to go there.
And if you want to take a road trip, go down to well, they might scare little kids, but the Museum of York County, which is down in Rock Hill, they have this huge mounted African animal collection down there. But like I said, it might scare little kids. Yeah, at one time it had the largest. It had the largest mounted African animal collection in the world.
Wow.
In little Podunk, South Carolina. But I don't know if that still stands or not. But it's real interesting. Just FYI.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of things we can do out there. So, it'll be fun.
Yeah, you'll have a good time.
It'll be fun.
And now,
on dead animals, Carol says.
Now,
Morning, Carol.
If you come down to the university train station for the Blue Line, you can take the train into downtown Charlotte, or through Charlotte. That the kids probably like that, riding the train.
Yeah, they probably would. So how do you do that?
You just go to a train station, get a permit, a ticket, and get on the train. I think it's like $6 round trip if you wanted to ride it from one end to the other. But you could also ride it into town, and it's probably 3 blocks from the train station uptown to Discovery Place. So you could literally park up there and walk down.
That sounds fun.
I have to look into that. That would be fun.
Especially for the kids.
Yeah. Well, that's just it, riding the train.
Yeah, both Asheville Zoo and the Columbia, South Carolina Zoo are within driving distance.
Right.
I don't know how to do that.
I don't know whether the kids would really like it or not. They might get kind of bored, but I know you and your daughter would like it. Go over to Biltmore, Nashville. Biltmore. That's the Vanderbilt Mansion that's open to the public.
Oh,
now the tickets are like $50. Pardon me?
What is it called?
Biltmore.
Biltmore. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little shack over there.
And is that in South Carolina or
North Carolina? That's in North Carolina. That's in Nashville. Yeah, Biltmore is the largest private residence in the United States. It was.
Okay.
Some people down in Florida built this big ass ugly McMansion down there that's bigger. Said they would have the biggest mansion in the world, or mansion in the United States, but it's a piece of crap compared to Biltmore.
Okay. Is it haunted or?
No, it's just fully furnished, and you'll spend almost a day looking through that place.
Oh my gosh.
You go through the main floors, which has a library, a music room, a dining room. And the dining room is huge. That thing will probably the table that's in there probably seats 60 people.
So it's kind of like Hearst Castle in California.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Only Hearst Castle you can put in the garage of this place.
Wow.
It's huge. Look at it on.
I'll look online at it. Huh.
But then you go upstairs to where the bedrooms are at. They take you down to the basement where you can see where the kitchen's at, the laundry, the indoor pool, the gymnasium, and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, nobody's lived there since the 60s, I think it was. They said the last family member moved out.
Wow.
But I've been there 2 or 3 times, and Roberta and I want to go back since they've opened up some more stuff.
Uh-huh.
But like I said, the kids might get a little bored with it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you and your daughter would like it.
We'd love that. Nitty Gritty Picker says the house is over 180,000 square foot.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a big old house. That's a big old house.
But you know, I was if you read the biography on on George W. Vanderbilt and his wife Cornelia, I think it was Cornelia, or is that his daughter? Well, anyway, he and his wife, his wife, they lived on the grounds while they were building it, or they would live there for a while and then go back to New York. They were really good to their people. Like when families would get sick, apparently Mrs. Vanderbilt would put together baskets and take down, you know, she and her daughter would take them to the families and visit them if new babies were born. Which is kind of, you know, you just don't think of that, of the wealthy from that era.
Right.
Especially the Vanderbilt.
So she was very generous
she's a nice lady.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you get a chance, go to it. If anybody is going down I-40 through Asheville or I-26 through Asheville, try to take some time and stop and go through it because it's really nice.
Okay.
And there's your public service announcement from the great state of North Carolina.
I really enjoy North Carolina. I think it's a beautiful state. I like how green it is and how lush and you know and you know there's always bad parts to every town, you know, or every city, every town, every city, you know. But yeah, I really like that. I really like Charlotte. I mean, it doesn't look like, you know, when you're going on the interstate and you're going past it, it really doesn't look like that big of a city, you know.
Right.
It's kind of like really like Kansas City, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, definitely looks pretty cool. I'd love to go there. One thing I want to do one of these days is I want to go to a NASCAR race, and I want to go to a football game. I haven't even been to a football game at Chiefs Stadium just because I don't like the Chiefs. I don't like the Chiefs or the Royals. Not a fan.
I've never been in Panther Stadium.
You haven't?
Never. I don't particularly care for football. It's a little bit too slow for me.
Yeah.
My ADD kicks in. Now, Roberta and the boys went up to see. It was two of the FIFA teams, soccer teams, was playing. And they went up there and played it. She said it was a really nice stadium. The bathrooms were really nice. Because, you know, that's that's what ladies are concerned about is bathrooms. And it was full. They said that stadium has never, you know, they have what's called sold out, which means the tickets are sold, but that doesn't mean it.
Right. You can still get tickets.
But it was, she said that she didn't see any vacant seats nowhere.
Wow.
But it's like I said, it was because it was two FIFA teams, and they were two of the top teams that were doing they did one here in LA, I think they did. But yeah, then the next time you come back, if you come during the summertime and your son-in-law's on vacation, or your son-in-law and daughter-in-law's got some time off, you ought to go out to the Outer Banks and go to where Wilbur Wright flew the airplane for the first time. And
okay, that'd be cool.
And then if you ever want to make it down to Charleston, I can give you a lot of stuff to do down there.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to go down to that area. Savannah's not very far from there, is it?
Savannah's about 4 hours
from
Charlotte. But it's straight drive. I mean, interstate. It's I-26. I mean, I-77 to 26 to I-95.
Yeah, I would love, because I lived down there. I was a baby, but I still lived down there for about 2 years. My dad was in the military, and I've always wanted to go down there. My mom and my dad, they both said that the weather was actually pretty comparable to California, where they're from.
Right.
They said it was kind of the same, temperatures, and I would say the humidity was probably a lot worse than that of California. But I don't know.
Was he down at Beaufort? Was he in Beaufort at the military base, or was he actually in Savannah?
I don't know.
Beaufort, I think.
Because we have a Marine base and a Marine base and an Army base in Beaufort.
He was Army, but that's all I know.
Right. It's probably Beaufort. I don't think they have any base. They might have a Navy base in Savannah, but I don't think they have anything like.
It was probably Beaufort. Yeah. So, and that was after he got out. He got back from Vietnam.
Right.
So,
honey, you're laying in tea. I just spilled. Okay.
One little thing I wanted to tell you guys really quick was a couple weeks ago, whenever you guys were sending me packages and stuff, I got one from Yvonne, and she sent me a mug. Well, she had this on the handle, which is awesome. Like, this is a tape roll,
right?
But it's hard enough to where it actually, like, it's pliable enough to where you can actually squeeze it and put it on the handle, but it protects it really good.
Cool.
Yep.
So that's one thing I'm gonna start doing, is saving those rolls.
Yeah,
I never thought about that.
And utilize them for something.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. I never even thought of it. I really like Yvonne. She's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yvonne, is she the one that used to be? If they might still have them, I just never get any alerts. Pinch and Peso show.
Yes.
Show.
Yes.
Blonde-haired lady.
Yes.
Well, she was blonde-haired then.
Yeah.
You never know what color. You YouTube stars, you'll never know what color hair you're going to have when you come on here.
Yeah, she still has blonde hair. Thrifty Rich.
Yep.
Yeah, Thrifty Rich. She's very cool. She's a cool gal. Knows her stuff.
Where's Bridget at today?
I don't know.
She's probably packing 107.
Hi guys. She didn't have time to come in. She has to do packing.
Do what?
She has to do packing.
Hey, Nikki.
The shipping department is visiting his father.
Packing every day anyway.
I missed you, Nikki.
Miss you guys too.
Are you not mowing today?
Yeah, I'm mowing. I'm just waiting to go. I'll be leaving in a few minutes.
Aren't you guys having?
Huh?
Aren't you guys having rain?
No, it's nice out today. It'll be in the 60s.
We're still having rain, and I looked on the radar, and it looked like it was coming right across.
No.
Surprised.
So far, so good. Supposed to be sunny and in the 60s today.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to be a little bit cooler than yesterday. It got up to 80. Was it 85, I think? Man, the air was thick. It was, oof. But, and I did turn the air on yesterday for a little bit, just to kind of cool the house down, but.
Yeah.
I watched somebody's show late last night. Nikki, whose show did I watch last night?
Huh? I don't know.
What was the guy's name that had the show late last night?
10 of Hearts?
No, it was a guy.
Oh, I don't know who was on last night. Pat Dees?
Pat Dees. And John Nevermore Antiques was on there, and he was talking about what you had talked about last week about Valerie, about the farmers can't get the corn in the ground. So
Yeah.
He was talking about that last night, and I'm like, oh, dude, that's old news. But he was talking about that they've not even been able, it's not been dry enough for them to run the equipment across the fields.
No, they can't even get in the fields. They can't even get in the fields. We've had so much rain. Like, we were so over our rain totals for the year already.
And here we are, we're having burn ban because we don't have enough rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, North Carolina's got that going right now, too.
Which isn't good for it, because people like to have fires here.
Yeah.
Summertime.
Oh, my God. I went to mow this field yesterday out of school, and I mean, I was walking through it, and it was like a goddamn sponge. I just squish, 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 squish. There was so much water in it.
I think if it doesn't rain today, I should be able to mow possibly by the afternoon today. Like, yeah. I should have mowed Friday or Saturday. That's my usual mow day. And so I'm like completely, well, it looks like a jungle.
So last week, Smokey the Bear said that the fire danger was moderate. So
we have a burn ban on all of Michigan.
But this week I think it's good.
Even though our neighbor across the street, he's a new guy, and he just moved in there, and he was burning limbs and stuff, and my other neighbor gave him a ring so that he wouldn't get in trouble.
Oh, gosh.
And I said, if you need anything else to burn over there, let me know, because I got lots. I need to have my own fire.
All right, guys. I just want to say hello. I'm leaving now. Talk to you later.
Well, we missed you, Nikki.
Be careful, Nikki. Don't get hurt.
There, that's pretty.
But yeah, it's been a crazy spring already.
What's going to happen though, without not being able to get the corn, get all this grain and stuff in the ground? Everything
will go up.
Yeah, because not corn for us to eat, because we don't eat the corn they grow out there. They grow corn out there for livestock and.
Well, some of they do.
Do they?
Yeah.
I was watching this.
We have sweet corn out here.
Oh, do you? I was watching this thing on the news, and they were talking about the majority of it was what they used to feed animals, and apparently it tastes like crap. And then also it goes into creating ethanol. So they're talking about the price of beef is going to go up, and the price of gasoline could go up because the price of ethanol is going to go up.
Sure.
So my fat ass will just sit at home. Pardon my French.
I mean, that's the. Yes, there's a lot of grain corn,
right?
And everything. But I mean, there is sweet corn that's grown here too. Not, I wouldn't say a whole bunch, but I don't know. But I would say probably definitely more grain corn than anything else. But yeah, it's definitely going to have an impact on everything,
Yeah, a lot of that's turned into fructose for sweeteners.
Yeah.
And some of it goes, it goes to the. I know Mike used to deliver to the. Like the dog food plants, like Frisbees and whatever else is over there. I can't remember. Purina, I think. But yeah, I mean it's used for a lot of different things. So
it must have been about.
The ground is just so saturated that they can't even get their equipment into the fields.
Man.
Yeah, I was watching a video a couple of days ago. The Arkansas River near Tulsa, Oklahoma, it got so full. You know, they bring barges up from the Gulf of Mexico up the Mississippi and then up the Arkansas to Tulsa. But several barges broke loose, and there was a video a day or two ago about those barges were smashing into the dam and just disintegrating.
Wow. That's crazy.
You know, back in about 1970, I think it was 77 when we were out there. We went to visit some friends from some relatives that lived on the Lake of the Ozarks. And we went along whatever road that is. It goes along the side of the Mississippi up to St. Louis. And when we were there was a barge had broken loose and had hit the locks and had knocked had sprung one of the gates so they couldn't close. So that meant that they couldn't open they couldn't get the gates closed to open the gates at the other end to let the water out. And but we were going when we were out there. We went through the middle of all this farmland, and it was, you know, as far as you could see was cornfields or wheat fields or whatever. And we stopped at this little country store that was out in the middle of damn nowhere. It was his country store, and he had a house behind it. He and his wife lived in it. And my dad was talking to him, and he said, "Yeah," he said, about shift change, you'll see a chopper come in, and they have designated landing pads throughout the fields, and a guy will get out and get on the combines, and the other guys will get in the helicopter and go home. And he says because they run them 24 hours a day at that time they ran them 24 hours a day when they were harvesting the grain and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Because that'd be terrible. You know, that'd really be terrible to have a field full of grain, whether it's corn or wheat or whatever, and have a lot of rain, and you can't get in there to get it because the equipment's so bogged down.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Check this out. You see this?
Yeah.
Look at these barges fixing to hit that dam. That's pretty incredible.
We'll leave it up. Let us see it.
There you go. It's still up.
Watch it.
Look at that. Bam.
Man.
That red one just gets sucked under.
Look at that water running, man.
Wow.
And you know all that water eventually goes into the Mississippi. Why isn't it flooded?
Because there's a bunch of locks down through there to control that water.
That's crazy, isn't it?
But you know, just imagine before they built all these locks and all these dams to control the water. How people survived out there. I guess they just knew that at certain times of the year they had to get their butt out and head for higher ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and these barges are like twice the length and twice the width of a semi-truck.
Yeah.
That is something else.
And it's just gone.
And there goes the white one. Boom.
Sheesh.
And this is because of all the rain that they're getting up in the northwest, right? Or the Midwest.
Right. Yeah, they did that because we still have flooding north of here. in Nebraska and Iowa. There's still severe flooding. And that's just from levees breaking. One of the roads, I think there was a sinkhole. It just, like, the road just disappeared. Like, it's gone. But yeah, it's crazy.
That's terrible for these people. And if Todd, did they say whether or not that it damaged the dam enough that water could go through it, or did they really say?
It didn't completely destroyed, but I'm sure engineers will have to go in there after the flooding goes down and check
Right.
Sure.
They'll probably have to send some divers and float some cranes out there to retrieve them barges. If they don't float to the surface once the water quits.
Oh no, those barges are in pieces.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. They just
get kicked around and bounce off and break into pieces, and yeah, definitely ain't nothing left of those.
They just float one of those big magnet cranes, and those magnets you see at scrap yards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just pull out all the pieces that way, probably.
Yeah. Crazy. Pure craziness.
You just can't mess with Mother Nature.
No, it's true.
Because when she wants to be a bitch, she can be a bitch. I mean, really.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, she's going to do whatever she's going to do.
And all we can do is hang on. But I hate it for people that live up there. And I mean, even in the coastal areas of the Carolinas, when we get a lot of rain up in the mountains, these, like the Waccamaw that runs into Myrtle Beach, the Waccamaw River, it goes way up into North Carolina. So it picks up all that rain up there. And the Catawba system that I'm on, it picks up, it runs way up in the mountains too. And when we get lots of rain up, it all comes down through here. And all the dams go on alert because we have some older dams on the system.
Mm-hmm.
And like the Lake Wiley Dam that I live on, it's if it was to go out, that wall of water that would end up traveling on down the river system would just knock out all these little dams that's down through there.
Right. Crazy.
And then California, every time they have bad rains out there, storms out there, then the mudslides. And
oh yeah.
One minute they got a drought, and the next minute they're flooded.
Yeah, the daggum houses are floating off or sliding off.
Sliding off the hill. Well, I would never build a house, in that state on a hill. I would never do it. I mean, that's like living right in a tornado's. If a tornado was hit once or twice in the same area, I'm not gonna build a house there. That's like asking for trouble.
Yeah, and it's not like those are regular 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom houses. They're like mansions and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
A friend of mine was sent out to California for 2 months, and the company put him up in a shack down on what's the name of that fancy beach area in Los Angeles or below
Which
Los
one?
Angeles? It's where all the movie stars like
Monica. You got
Malibu.
I think it's Malibu. Anyway, it's one of these places where a 1,200 square foot house that costs you like $3 million because it's on the ocean, you know. And they put him in the up. They asked him to go out there. He took his family because it was during the summertime, and so somebody for the company in the company owns this house that he stayed in. And he said the normal rental rate was like $10,000 a week.
Yeah.
And he said you can. He said you couldn't get $250 a month for that house if it was like in North Carolina. It was tiny. You know, it was just. He said it was just not all that special, but it was because it had. Location. He said you have that, but he said he could walk out on his deck and watch the sun go down.
Yep. The beach house that we stayed in for a week, it was $2,500 for 1 week, and it wasn't that great, but it was the only house that everything else is condos,
right?
But it was the only house on this particular beach in this town that had a beach view. And you know, it was big enough, but we had 5 people staying with us. We were under the impression that it was going to be like a room, you know, big enough for 2 or 3 people, and you know, with a couple of twin beds and stuff like that. Yeah, they were like bunk beds. It was not.
Uh-oh.
Crazy.
Okay. Are you there? Okay.
Uh-oh, what?
You glitched.
I glitched.
You got to the bunk beds and then ended. Like you were going to continue your thought and you just never continued.
I was like, uh-oh.
I was having a senior moment.
Something is wrong.
We got a nice picture with the mouth partially open.
Sorry about that.
That's right. Just glad you're not a robot.
Nope, I'm not a robot. I am not a robot.
Hey, I got through my packages pretty quick.
Good job.
I got to pack a coffee cup, and I'm just not looking forward to
that. Let me see.
I think I'm going to overpack it, put it in a cardboard box, and whatever the hell it costs to ship it, because I don't have any more coffee cups. I don't know why I keep listing coffee cups because, well, like this one sold for $22 plus shipping, but
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not, but I'm just worried. I'm scared that it's going to get broken. The handle's going to break off of it before it gets there.
Well, you got to pack the shit out of it.
Well, that's what I was just saying. I'm not skipping on it. You know, you see these people, they stick a coffee cup in a you know, they wrap it in bubble wrap and then they stick it in a 4x6x4 or whatever box and slide it inside of a padded envelope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, no way, baby. My luck, that sucker would get broken all to hell before it got there.
I don't think, I mean, I've had several things that have broken during shipment and it wasn't my fault. But I have never had a broken coffee mug, which is crazy. But I just pack it the best way I know pack it, and I think, okay, this should not get broken. If it gets broken, that means that they have actually went and slam dunked it on the freaking cement, you know?
there is a, I mean, usually I'll just take like spare cardboard and I'll put cardboard around it. I'll put bubble wrap around it. And then I also put plastic.
Yeah, shrink wrap.
Shrink wrap. I'll shrink wrap it a couple times with the bubble wrap around it already. And that's, yeah, usually it can cause your price, your weight to go up a little bit, but I think it's well worth it if it doesn't get damaged, or broke.
That's the reason I've got.
Hey there, Cindy and Beth. Good morning.
I'm gonna, not this one, of course, but an oversized box. I'm just gonna pack it up real good, and if I have to pay more shipping, I'll just pay the extra shipping on it. I just wanted to get it there and get gone.
When do we get our next shipping supplies?
January, either this month or next month. January, February, March, April, May, June, then July, August, September, October, November, December. If that's what you're talking about.
Was it June 30th?
Yeah. Oh, 10 of hearts.
Hi, Beth. Hey, Beth.
Hi.
I was watching quite a bit of your video or your show yesterday, and then you got out your really organized looking journal thing, decorated up and stuff, and I was like, I had to quit watching because that is way too organized for me.
Well, it's always in my hand.
That is awesome to keep up something like that. I ain't gonna do it. And I was like, she's making me feel guilty and bad and stuff. And I was
You sounded like
I think it's great.
You sounded like a Bush right then, Todd. Ain't going to do it. That was Dad Bush, what it used to say. I ain't going to do it.
Yep.
I gotta go secure my packages in the rain. I'll be right back.
Oh God.
Okay. Well, welcome, Beth.
Thank you. It's nice to actually see everyone in person.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm horrible about journaling. Like, I want to do it, but then I don't want to do the work.
I don't
Because it is some work, to number one, to get it set up, and then number two, to keep it up. You got to write in it pretty frequently, to keep up on the dates and things that are happening and everything, and it's hard.
Yeah, it's like when I got out of college, I swore up and down I would never write in another notebook, and I haven't.
Well, I think it's best for people who already use a planner and they're just not happy with their planner and they're not using half the pages in their planner or wishing there were pages that aren't in the planner. And I think that's really who it's the best for.
I used to buy the Franklin. I used to carry a Franklin planner with me all the time, and I'd buy the refills every year, and half the stuff I never used.
Right.
So I did.
Yeah. So, and for $10, you can have everything you want.
Right.
So I got to the point where I just got me a nice leather, 8x10 binder, and printed out my own calendars, and because I could go in, I could predate them with like birthdays and things like that in advance, and I would just make up my own pages.
Yeah.
But my son Sasha, he is a journalist. I mean, he keeps a journal, and he keeps it on his his phone, and then he uploads it to his Dropbox or something. But he's always in his app journaling. He'll spend the day with his friends, and when he gets in the car, he's like, "Would you have a good time? Yeah, let me do this, and then we'll talk." And he's got to write down all the little things that they did and whatnot.
That's awesome.
But he's really into He's into writing, so that's part of the whole scope of things. But
yeah,
I think he's got last year's formatted, and I'm going to take it out to Staples and have it printed and spiral bound for him, so he'll have a written copy of it.
That's cool. That's really cool. I don't know if it's raining or if it's misting or what, but the ground's wet, so there went that idea. So much for that. We're gonna be mowing today, but doesn't look like that's a possibility. Might just have to live in a jungle.
I did my mowing yesterday. Woohoo!
Do you cut it with a push mower?
Yeah, I got a self-propelled pusher.
Well, I thought I remembered you had that. Valerie, do you cut it with a push mower or do you have a riding mower?
I have a rider. This is way too big of a yard to mow with a push. I mean, it can be done. We've done it before we got our rider, but it's so much easier. Usually it would take anywhere from 6 to 8 hours to do with a push. And it usually takes me, if I do it all, front and back, the whole thing, probably 3 hours. But I got a big piece of property that I got to mow. And
my next door neighbor it's it's yellow and white. I don't know what the brand of it is, but it's yellow and white. He's got a lawn tractor and it's got a 42-inch mower deck on it. Now my lot is one of the bigger lots in this neighborhood, and it's about a third acre. When he starts cutting, he starts in his yard and he cuts across his yard, my yard, and my other neighbor's yard. And then he turns around and he cuts back across them. So he's cutting everybody's yards at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Because he said he'd just be doing circles all the time with that big mower deck in his front yard.
Yeah.
So I have to keep him stocked up in Miller Light beer. Because that's what not Miller Light beer, Miller beer. That's what his beer of choice is. So. When he bought that thing, I said, "Why did you buy such a big mower?" Because what he had before was like a single blade snapper riding lawnmower.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Because it was on sale, and it was a deal too good to pass up."
Yeah, we have I think it's 3/4 of an acre.
Right.
Lot. And so definitely we got 3 small front yards, 3 little patches of grass, and then we have a huge side yard, and then a huge backyard. So it's a lot to mow, and we've actually, like, in the middle of the yard in the back, there's a huge flower garden. And most of the corners we have gardens. We just tried to fill in a few places so it take up a little bit of the grass, so we wouldn't have to mow so much. But
when we lived in Charleston, we had a small yard. Mm-hmm. And then when we moved to Rock Hill, we had 3 acres of yard. And my dad would not buy a damn riding lawnmower until after we started leaving the house. We all started leaving the house. We would push that it was about 2 acres of lawn. We'd push it with a daggum push mower. He's like, "Y'all are young, y'all can do it." Me, when my kids move out, I'm going to get me a Noel. He's the guy across the street with the lawn service. When Roberta was real sick, the grass kind of got high, and the boys were up at this is 2 or 3 years ago. The boys were up at the grandparents, and I came home because I told Roberta I'm going to go home and cut the grass because it's before we start getting hateful letters from the city.
Mm-hmm.
So I came home and it was all cut and trimmed and nice, and Noel, who lives across the street, and Herman, who lives next door to me, I said, "Who did the yard?" And Noel said, I had the boys go over and take care of it. I knew Roberta was in the hospital. I said, "I appreciate that." And Herman said he had one crew over there, and there's about 4 people on a crew. He said it took him about 20 minutes from start to finish, and that was including blowing the driveway and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That's what I gotta do. Put that on my list too.
Cut the grass?
No, I gotta call somebody to find out if they can cut at least my front yard while I'm gone.
Now you're going to be gone a month.
Uh-huh.
You can come back and look like you live in Washington or freaking Michigan.
Yeah. I figure I'll probably mow it probably the day before I leave. And that way it'll hold it off for a while, but I'll get a hold of my neighbor or my handyman. He does lawns too, so maybe just have him come by and do the front, and then I'll have to deal with the back when I get home. Because I have a gate, and I can't remember what my deck is on my mower. I want to say it's a 36. I don't know. To tell you the truth, I have no clue. But nobody else has that. They're all of their decks are a lot bigger, and so they can't get through that gate unless they use a push mower. And so I can't get anybody to mow the back for me. But as long as the front's done, it should be fine. I won't worry about it too much.
Cindy, did you go penny treasure hunting this morning? Cindy, why?
Oh, looking for pennies.
I'm gonna be going later.
Hank says, I could not be happier with our new mower. It has cut down the time to do 2 houses from a few hours to maybe an hour between both, not including transit. Amazing to me. Yeah, it is. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm very thankful. Mine is old. I would say mine is probably about 8 or 9 years old. And it's still, knock on wood, still doing okay.
What part of Texas are you going to, Valerie?
Houston, I think.
Austin. Yeah, the Austin area.
That's where Texas Val lives.
Yeah. Texas Val lives north of there, no, south of there, and Todd lives north of there? I guess it'd be the other direction. So that north. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm going a little while.
I'm staying in San Marcos is the hotel I'm staying at though. And that's the city I'm staying at. But we're gonna be all over the place.
You gonna be able to see Todd, or is he too far out?
No, we're gonna see Todd. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive down and throw him off of a plane.
Oh, that's right. You're going to go skydiving, aren't you?
Yeah.
Not me. Yeah.
Why not, Todd?
No way, Jose.
Why not?
We ain't doing that.
Todd, I'm sorry, buddy, but this is something that you're never going to get another chance to do.
And it's also something that I never wanted to do.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Kind of like I could have bought a Yugo, but I didn't.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
My
Some people just don't want to do that.
My son Nicholas, he went Vanya. He did the tandem deal. His Roberta's sister's husband is big into skydiving, and he took him down to Chester, South Carolina, where they have a big skydiving school and whatnot down there. And I had a video up on my Facebook page at one time. I don't know if it's still there or not. But he enjoyed it. He said it was kind of creepy, but he said after he got out of the plane, he said it was a lot better. But the anticipation on anything like that's always.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure.
Just like being in line for a roller coaster.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Well, I told the story before when I was getting my open water diving certification. We were in Crystal River, Florida, and we were standing beside a spring, and the water was only about knee deep. And then you stepped off into the spring, and it was like 25 feet deep. Ooh. And that's where we had to do our emergency ascent. That's where our dive instructor would turn off our oxygen, and we had to kick ourselves to the surface. And just standing, I thought I was going to have an anxiety attack standing out there waiting, because I thought this sucker's going to cut my oxygen off.
Yeah.
And but once I got in the water and got going, it was okay. I didn't worry about it at all. But just standing there waiting, and there was this one because it was a group of adults, and then we had a group of Explorer Scouts, and they were teenagers, and girls and boys, and there was one girl. She was over there in tears. She was just so concerned about it. And one of the diving instructors that was with us, he's like, "This will be okay. We're not going to let you drown." And but like I said, Vanya said it was, until he actually stepped out of the plane, it got a little nerve-wracking there.
Sure. You kind of think, I don't know about this. I don't know if this is something I want to do.
Well, they had on their display, on their screen inside the clubhouse, if that's what you want to call it, for the school. They had a tape playing, and there was a big boy. I'm talking about big boy. He was doing a tandem with this girl, and I thought he was the professional, and she was the I wanted to jump out of a plane, person. But it was the other way around.
Wow.
And she probably weighed 100 pounds, and I bet he was about 350.
Yeah.
But he must have been about 6'5". He's just a big guy.
Yeah.
And she was, I think they were also using him as a advertising tool.
Oh, gosh.
Because they were coming, when they jumped out of that plane, she had that guy twisting and twirling and turning and spinning and everything else. And we were standing there watching it, and the instructor, the skydiving instructor said, he said, it don't take much to send you tumbling. And he said all she had to do is stick a foot out and cause a spin or whatnot, even though he was such a big guy.
Yep.
So whoever you do it with, they'll know what to do. Don't worry about that.
Well, sure, I hope so.
It's just that sudden stuff you have to worry about.
I sure hope they know what they're supposed to be doing. That's why I'm paying for them.
Yeah, but you're sitting there thinking, I hope the hell he knows or she knows what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Hey, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I need to find this damn coffee cup.
Man, I would be saying, where's the pile of pillows we're going to land on?
You know, Todrick, I just have no desire to jump out of a perfectly good airplane.
No,
I'm more like, where's the cocktail waitress at?
I think I would enjoy the jump itself, but I wouldn't enjoy spending the money on it, and I wouldn't enjoy waiting, and I wouldn't enjoy sitting there and during the instruction period, and I wouldn't enjoy driving to the place and leaving from the place. You know,
Damn, Todd.
None of that. You know, just for what 30 seconds of fun. I don't think
Todd,
it's
have you
worth
been to
it.
Disney World?
Huh?
Have you been to Disney World?
Yes.
I bet that waiting almost killed you.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Oh my God, Todd, you're too much. Man.
I joke about you kids get off my land, but damn if Todd's not serious about it.
Oh my God. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It's just I don't think I'd be all that interested in having fun for 30 seconds to spend all that money and time and effort. I'd rather be doing something else, like
making some money,
sitting on my butt, or.
Hank said she's dying laughing right now because that's exactly the way she would decide if she really wanted to do something. The way you explained that.
Anything that's going to be fun, you're going to have to wait.
I guess.
I mean, even if you didn't like all the other stuff, wouldn't you feel like you would enjoy the jump itself, and that would be enough?
Oh, I would enjoy the jump. It wouldn't scare me to do it, but
Todd would be bitching the whole way down because he just spent $300 to jump out of a damn airplane that there was nothing wrong with.
I'd be like, yeah, that probably wasn't worth it.
Because it is expensive.
I could spend that money on something else I'd rather be doing. I don't know what, but
yeah. I don't know. I think if I had a chance to do it, I would do it. Just because that only comes around, maybe once in a lifetime. I was telling Valerie, there's a guy that has a channel, and he orders a Uber a Uber, and he asks people that are driving him if they will jump out of an airplane with him, just to see if they'll say yes or no. And he pays for it, pays for the trip and takes them to lunch and all of that. But he says, I really don't want to go alone, and I want to know if you'll jump out of an airplane with me. And he got a lot of no's, but he got 3 yeses. So I thought it was a really, and that was his channel, is to do stuff like that. It's really cool.
So does he show them jumping out of it and the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's definitely something that, I might do it again. Depends on how much I like it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's almost like, getting tattoos. It's like one of those things that you're all about it, after you do your first jump and just love it, and you're hooked. And that's possibly how I'll be. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
That's awesome.
You know, I'm kind of concerned about you going down there with Texas Valerie. She seems to be a loose gun, you know.
No, and she has so me and Valerie are both going to be 50 this year. Her birthday's in August, mine's in September, and then one of her neighbors is also going to be 50 this year, and she's already jumped, but she wants to know if she wanted to come with us and jump with us. So I'm like, hey, the more the merrier. Let's go. So it'll be fun.
I remember when I turned 50.
So
just
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing all my friends and all that. So it's gonna be a great.
Oh my god!
What?
What, Todd?
Y'all got time for a story?
Why?
Yeah, come on.
Oh my god. Okay. When I was 15, 16, and 17, I collected Order of the Arrow Boy Scout patches.
Okay.
And I still have them.
Wow.
45 years later. And so I thought, I'm not using these, and they're not the lodge that I was a member of, but so I put them on I put 69 of them on a 7-day auction. And let me show you what they're doing. Let's see. I'll get there eventually. Then I'll screen share. I know how to do that now.
Texas Valerie says, a loose gun. Lol, thanks, Tom. I might resemble that.
That's a compliment.
Okay, so sorry.
Good. No, go ahead.
Well, I gotta get it. Oh my god! This one, you hear my phone going off? They keep bidding. Oh my god! They keep bidding it up.
Good.
Hang on.
Good job, Todd.
Dang. Okay, I'll get there eventually. Where am I at? Okay, here we go. You see these patches?
Yes.
Like, here's one. It goes on the pocket flap on your shirt. You know, the flap that pulls down and buttons. And
you did them separately?
Yeah, this patch sews onto that pocket flap on the front of a. Dang! Okay, so I started all 69 of them at $12.95 a piece. You see that?
Yeah.
So none of these have been bid on. No bid, no bid, no bid, no bid. Oops, here's one.
Woo!
Wow.
$50.80 for this one so far.
Order of the Arrow.
Yep.
Awesome.
Okay, that's not the big one though. Or that's not the one that's going nuts. This one got a starting bid, one bid. And all these are red. Nobody wants those. This one got one bid. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
And here we go.
Wow. Wow.
Wow, that's awesome, Todd.
157.50. Wow.
43 bids starting at $12.95.
Oh my god.
Where's that council at, Todd?
I have no idea.
Is that
Octaro?
Order of the Arrow all have Indian names.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a extra organization with the Boy Scouts that it's kind of like your Scoutmaster nominates you to become a member, and then a lodge is a combination of about maybe 10 or 15 scout troops.
Right.
They still got like a day and 5 hours, I think, Sherry.
Yeah. That's amazing now.
And it's got another bid. It went to 160.
Oh my gosh.
Is that your phone going off constantly in the background?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome. Very good.
And then the rest of them are pretty much no bid, 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 no bid.
Well, at least you can know.
You know, this is the thing. We have the listing challenge tomorrow, so we can do that while the listing challenge is going on. They can go off.
Heck yeah.
You got a bunch of got a lot of views on them, though, Todd. Maybe they're going to wait and start. What do they call it? Not Skype it, not Skype it.
Skype it. This is my lodge, the one I was a member of.
Is it still there?
Yeah, I think so. I know the Boy Scout camp that we went to is still there.
Good morning, Valerie. Yeah, we'll definitely have to have that live, that ending for all those, because they all should end about the same time, right?
No, I spaced them out over. I got like 55 of them the first day. And then I put on like 8 or 9 more a day or two later. One day, 7 hours. Wednesday at 5:37. So we'll get to see most of the endings.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But I just got a bid on the one I just showed you. It had no bids.
Maybe you should start just clicking on them.
Yeah.
So my lodge, this one, just got its first bid.
Nice.
So, and I even
Todd gets excited.
$275 each.
That's awesome.
Is that better than jumping out of a plane, Todd?
Well, I like this better than I would like jumping out of a plane. So that's my story.
Good job.
So yeah, I wasn't using them for anything. So like somebody else can enjoy them for a while.
Right.
And they're all
right.
Yeah, I didn't know any of them were worth that much.
That's awesome. Nitty Gritty Picker said earlier, I was a ranger with the 75th Ranger Regiment out of Benning in 608. You all know we didn't pack. We didn't pack our own parachutes. True fact, they have riggers or guys who failed out of Ranger school pack our chutes. That's a scary thought.
Yeah.
Somebody said, Valerie, you're going to have to pack your own chute. And I said, well, I ain't going then.
No, they don't let you. I know for a fact they don't let you pack your own chute.
That's a good thing.
They don't want people splatting at the ground at like 400 miles an hour.
No. I want somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yeah, that makes their company look bad, so they don't want that.
Yeah, that's right. It affects sales, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm sure it affects their insurance and all of that too. So.
Yeah, I just pulled up the YouTube version of the show and was looking at the chat. Nitty Gritty Picker said there's Tweety Railroad. That might be something to take the kids to.
Huh.
And it's easy to get to, really. And it's gonna be a lot. I would think it'd be a lot cheaper than.
What is it called?
It's called Tweety Railroad.
Tweety Railroad.
Tweety, Tweetsie Railroad.
Tweets. Oh.
They have they have a train that runs around a course that you ride on, and they have gunslingers that try to rob the train and all that kind of stuff. Back in the day, they had Indians that would attack the train, but that's not politically correct now. So
right. I will definitely look into that.
And they have a show that might be something a little bit better. If you want to do something with the kids since they're so little, that might be something a little bit better.
Yeah. I'll definitely look that up. When we would visit my grandparents in Bullhead City, Arizona, there was a town called Oatman, and they used to have donkeys, and it was just a tourist trap type place, and they had all these like old Wild West town stores and stuff like that, like the main street of the town, and they used to have the Wild West shootouts and all. I do remember that. I was probably 3, 4, 5 years old, but I do remember that pretty well, and it was always very cool.
We used to have this place called Ghost Town in the Sky over in Maggie Valley. And it was an old West type situation, and they had guns, fights, and all that kind of thing. And all the kids now want roller coasters and that kind of stuff. So it really dropped out of favor, and it closed. And they've been trying to open it up for several years to reopen it. But you take a chairlift to the top of a mountain, and that's how you get to where all the rides and stuff are at.
Wow.
Now, if it was moi, and I had enough money to do so, I'd drop a damn steel roller coaster off the side of that sucker. So when you got to the edge of the mountain, when it was shooting down the side of it, that would make you. That would give the kiddies some thrills.
Wow. Yeah, just looking for a few things that we can do. It's hard for her because she's got to go to work. And usually that's like the morning thing, but for the most part, sometimes she can get out of it, and we can go, do stuff. But so yeah, I'm just trying to find a few little things that we can do.
Are real pearls painted?
No,
they're not painted. So if you bite it or not bite it, but if you take the tooth test, like Bridget always tells me to do, and it's gritty and the paint, it doesn't flake the paint or whatever, then that means that they're real. Most likely.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Is there no other test?
Right, Todd?
What's that? I'm down a rabbit hole. What's the question?
To test if pearls are real, you just, try it with your teeth. If it's gritty, then that means that they're most likely real. But is there any other test for that?
Not that I know of.
Okay. I wish they would put that on on the jewelry somewhere, you know, that it's real pearls.
Yeah, I do know that if you're looking at a strand of pearls like you're at an estate sale, if there are knots between each pearl, then that means it's more likely to be real pearls.
If they're not what?
If there are knots between each pearl.
So, you know, like each knot is, or each, you know, they've got like a piece of thread and they've threaded, you know, and every pearl has its own little knot. So it's not like sliding around or whatever.
Yeah.
It stays in place.
That means there was more care taken in the construction, and you're less likely to lose half your pearls if your necklace breaks.
Right. Right. I think I found some real ones.
Yeah, definitely keep that in mind.
But yeah, freshwater pearls are gritty too, so you really need the real expensive pearls are the natural pearls.
And do they sometimes put those on like a clasp that is more 925 and gold?
Yeah, if they're real sea pearls, yeah, they will be more likely to be on a gold or silver clasp.
Yeah.
And then Karen said freshwater pearls can be dyed colors.
Yeah, I was watching Thelma's show last night, and she was showing citrine pearls. And they were on wire, or yeah, they were on wire, and really pretty though. And they were 925. The class was 925, and I don't know. I have this set that I think it's real. They're gritty for sure. They don't feel like they're painted, you know.
Morning, Dee. Hope you're having a good morning. We're just hanging out here. I get some shipping done.
A girl I went to high school with, she came from old Rocky old money, and she would wear strings of pearls to school, but she would wear them up under her clothes because, you know, she's a teenager and she didn't want people to see them because that's so old lady like. But her grandmother would make her granddaughters wear all these pearls necklaces because she said that if they were not worn, that they would she called them get sick. They would get sick and lose their luster. So you had to wear them. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not, but they seem to live by it because they would wear, all these girls would wear their grandmother's pearls all the time.
Huh.
And she had fancy. This old lady had fancy strings of pearls.
I need to get. Does anybody have a link that they use for bubble wrap? A special seller that they, or a deal or anything like that?
I bought mine at Walmart the last time they had them on clearance, and I've yet to have to buy any more.
Yeah.
I like that 3RB place, or what's that other one?
3RB?
Yeah, on eBay, 3RB.
Okay.
Or at least that's where I get my boxes.
Okay.
Or the Boxery.
Check them out.
Dang, Hank, you're a young woman and you're acting like an old lady. Not having to drive anywhere, fight traffic, or spend a whole bunch of money. That's what she doesn't want to do.
Yeah, I bought the last bunch that I bought I bought it at where did I buy it? I bought it at Walmart, but it just didn't seem to last very long.
Yeah.
It just seemed like it was a very small roll.
Karen says I'm not giving out my link. Last time they sent me bubble, it came with a thin sheet of plastic all ripped up and it was filthy.
Wow. Huh. Oh, that's cool, Cindy.
Win big.
Yep.
Free rooms and free food. Oh my God.
That means somebody has spent a lot of money with that casino.
Yep. They got comped.
Yeah, when you start getting comped, somebody is spending a lot of money.
They want to bring you back so you can spend some more. Yeah. Let's see.
I have a first cousin that lives in Vegas, and his daughter worked for one of the casinos in the section that dealt with comping all the high rollers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she said some of these guys and ladies would request stuff, and they were never told no unless it was something illegal. And she said there's a couple of them. She said there was an Asian one and a Russian one that would come in, and they would just about break the as long as it's legal rule, because they said they'd come in and they would drop millions of dollars.
That's crazy.
You know, I like gambling on this $2 coffee cup that I sold for $21. You know, that's gambling to me. And you have a better chance of getting your money back.
Yeah, true.
Todd, when's the patch that's going for like $160? How long you got left on it?
Like a day and 3-4 hours or something.
1 day, 5 hours.
Oh, it'll be up $500 the way your luck is.
Possibly.
Because this would be one of the highest sellers on eBay the last 3 months, even at this price.
Hey, Turtle Trader.
And the guy with the high bid only has 14 feedback. So I hope I'm not fixing to get scammed.
Nah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I guarantee it.
He's just trying to get feedback up.
I just found this link, Valerie, for bubble wrap. On eBay. And it's it's 700 feet. Small bubbles, which is what I use, 12 inches across for $25.99 free shipping.
That's not bad. Okay. Take a look. Thank you for that. Oh, that's a good size. Uh-huh.
I may try that because I hate going into Walmart.
Yeah.
Our Walmart here is terrible.
Let's see.
Are you going to turn your store off, Valerie, or are you going to set like 30-day handling or something on it?
I'll put my handling time up, and I'll put it on vacation, but people can still buy from it. You know, it'll still be open to buy from, but it'll be on vacation, and it'll also be on my handling time be out. So, yeah. Yeah, so and then once it gets closer to me being home, then I will also I'll decrease my time.
Because you will be gone quite a while.
Yeah, definitely. But that's okay. That's all right. I mean, I'm gonna, I know I'm gonna be gone for a while, but it'll all be worth it. And more than likely, I probably won't go anywhere until November. So, yeah. Okay. But yeah, I'm very excited.
I would be excited if I was you too.
Go to checkout. So that's that. Good deal. All right. Got that ordered. I can knock that off my list. That's good.
Heck yeah.
I still have a little bit left, but I needed to get some before I ran out.
I'll be right back. I gotta get to the mailbox.
Okay.
Okay. Be careful. Love you. Bye.
Right. Yeah,
I'm drinking Rock Stars now.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow.
I changed from Monsters because Monsters only have 160 milligrams of caffeine. These have 120 milligrams, and then they also have what's called I don't know what it lactulone. 50 milligrams.
I don't know.
Anyways, total caffeine is 240 milligrams. So it's not as bad as a Bang.
Right.
Yes, Hank, and it's a sweatshirt. It's a regular sweatshirt and it's inside out. So it is really warm and comfy, but thank you.
The only way to that's the only way to wear a sweatshirt inside out.
It is cold here today. It's raining. It's been raining since yesterday.
It was 72 when I woke up. I opened all the windows, had the fans running, and now it's 62 degrees and rainy.
Yeah, it's 51 here today. It's a little bit on the chilly side. It's not super cold or anything, cold. But it's chilly.
I was gonna turn the heater on.
Oh my God.
I thought, no, you can close your windows, turn off the fans. You don't need to have the heater on.
Right.
Step away from the heater.
You want to see something cool? Look at these pants. See those?
Hang on a second.
Ooh, those are cool.
Those are
Coca-Cola.
Bell-bottom, drawstring waist, kind of like lounge pants.
Yeah.
I won those at the auction yesterday for $10.
Nice. Those will sell.
For 10?
Yep.
That would have been a little bit more than what I paid for, what I would pay for them, but
yeah,
I'm a cheap ass when it comes to stuff like that.
When I was 16 years old, I had a pair of pants similar to those, and I rocked the hell out of them. Only they were flares.
Yeah, these are like 1970s vintage. Yeah.
I done lost my loop.
Uh-oh.
I wore some crazy ass stuff when I was a kid.
I don't doubt it.
No, I'm not wearing them, Karens.
I don't doubt it. I think you are a trendsetter.
No, I just like wild colors. And it was the thing. You got to remember, in the late 70s.
Yeah.
Hey, Todd, if something is 925 and it's from Italy, does that mean it's maybe worth more than something that's 925 and not marked Italy or Mexico or something?
No, Italy is probably, in my dealings with sterling silver, probably at least 1/3 of all chains are made in Italy.
Okay. Oh man, Hank's got 91 and it feels like 97.
Whew. Lord.
So it's humid as fuck today, even worse than yesterday.
Crazy.
Hi, Tim. How you doing today?
That's crazy.
I don't know. My kids don't even remember it being hot in California. They're just like, I just know it's better weather than it is here. And I'm like, yes, you don't remember it being hot in California because we had air conditioning.
Right.
You weren't out messing around in it. You were I remember it being hot in California because we had a freaking swamp cooler and we're a lot of times thrown outside to die in it.
Yep. And the
Because
door
mom had too many kids in the house.
Yep.
Go outside and do something.
You got to get outside. And
yeah, until the Johnny incident. Once the Johnny incident happened, they didn't really lock us outside anymore.
That's
we have to hear about this.
The people across the street, they had a group home for developmentally disabled people, and my brother got locked outside because it was hot and mom wanted him to go outside and play. And so he's over there banging on the door. He's only like 5 or something. and the people across the street called CPS.
I forgot about that.
And to me it's hilarious because it's not like my parents or my mom would ever, lock us outside and, make us fend for ourselves or whatever. And, you're on your own for the day or whatever. No, she just wanted us to go do something with ourselves so we'd get out of her hair, just like every mother goes through that,
Right.
And it just so happened that the people across the street seen that and didn't like it very much and thought my mom was sticking them outside. If you're hot and you go outside and you get in the hose and there you got your water. We drink water at the hose, and we didn't have to have bottled water or anything like that. Just go get some water from the hose and you're all set. She'd give you a little snack and send you outside to play.
You can't drink water out of a hose now.
Why?
It causes cancer. I'm not being silly. I'm being serious. Is what I heard.
I understand, but yeah, everything you do is going to cause something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still drink water out of a hose.
Yeah.
Okay, Uncle Tom's story time now.
Okay.
Picture this: 1967, 68, or 69, because it happened every year. During the summer months, we drank out of water hoses. We ate sandwiches with dirty hands.
Mm-hmm.
And once they started fogging for mosquitoes, we'd run behind the mosquito fogging machines, running and having a hell of a good time. And now that stuff will kill your ass. People would lose their freaking minds now.
Oh, yeah.
Kids just running and frolicking and riding their bikes around behind those, because it would come out of the machine pretty heavy.
And all of the permanent markers we sniffed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
God, yes.
All the glue we've eaten.
All the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, that was me. Elmer's glue and me were friends. Yeah.
I used to take that glue and put it on my hands, and then I'd peel it off. just for something to do. I once had a scar. I don't know if I have it still. We used to take erasers and make burns on the backs of our hands.
Yeah.
In little designs and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it would scab over and it almost looked like a tattoo.
Right.
Sally, you're kind of concerning me here now. First of all, you're burning yourself with the rubbers. You're over here pulling your skin. Did you look at other little kids and go, you don't leave me alone? I'm going to do this to your skin. And start pulling that face off your head.
Oh, that would have been a good one.
But
Hi, John.
When my kids were little, because Roberta came from it was her and her sister. You know,
Mm.
the boys would get outside and they would, you know, they'd have cookies or something, and they'd be dirty as all get out, and they're, you know, eating cookies and licking their fingers, and Roberta's like, "Oh my God," and I'm like, "Leave them alone. They need to get some dirt in their stomach, you know."
Yeah.
Because that's what makes kids healthy.
Yes. Yeah. People don't understand that all, you know, yeah, you can use hand sanitizer to a point. But if you're, you know, if you are doing that like every 5 seconds and, you know, you don't allow any kind of bacteria or anything in your system, you're not going to build an immunity for any of that.
Well, my niece is an RN, and she says that she's been doing it long enough that she remembers before they had the Purell dispensers at the entrance to everybody's hospital room. She said she seems like she stays sicker now since, I forgot the term. It's like wipe in, wipe out, or something like that. You're supposed to use it going in, and you're supposed to use it coming out.
Yeah.
She says she feels like she's stays sicker now than she did before they started doing all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
I would
right.
say so.
She said so the glue eating was so you built up a good tolerance for it.
That's right. Who said that?
Hey.
Okay, well, that sounds like Hankisms.
Well, I remember building balsa wood airplanes, and there was this like thin paper material you were supposed to put on the balsa wood wings and fuselage and stuff. And you had to wet it first with this stuff called dope. And it's kind of a thin glue, but I know it was the kind of glue that kids sniffed later or huffed later, because we would get kind of dizzy.
Right.
And
there was nothing as good as the smell of some freshly mimeographed papers.
Yeah. And
do y'all remember those? Sally probably doesn't. She's too young.
What is it?
Mimeograph paper.
Oh, yeah.
It was like sheets of paper with the blueprinting on it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember.
It's like,
I was a teacher. We practically get high when we're in there running that stuff off.
Yep.
We used to get in big fights in the teacher workroom over who got the mimeograph machine next. I got to make out a test. Well, I was in line before you.
Oh my gosh.
Nitty Gritty Picker says my third bike as a kid had the foam on the handlebars when they started caring about safety, but we thought the foam was for the bike to float when we jumped into the river off the bridge with our bike. There you go. Oh my God.
you know, I think back to some of the stuff I did as like a 10-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of shudder at the thought of
Oh yeah.
Like, what the hell were you thinking, Tommy?
Yeah, definitely. Brianna says, yep, you guys are hilarious. I love the smell of horse manure in the morning.
Okay. Who said that?
Johanna.
Oh, Lord. Well,
Mike
she's a country
says,
girl.
we were normal kids. We just smoked pot. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, that was...
I wasn't very adventurous. Like, I guess girls are a little more reserved somewhat.
Sally's over there cackling her ass off. You know she was in trouble.
Yeah, I had to rephrase that. Some girls.
I remember digging a hole. Oh, I sold something. I remember digging a hole and filling it up with water and jumping off the pump house into that hole.
Oh my gosh.
It was just a mud hole.
Yeah.
And then one time when I did it, Grandma and Grandpa Dennis were visiting at that time. One time when I did it, I was on top of the pump house, and a bee stung me in the leg. And so I fell off the pump house, and I was crying and stuff. And Grandpa Dennis came over there, and I told him I got stung by a bee. And so he took me into the back of his trailer, and he took a thing of tobacco, put it in his fingers, spit on it, and then rubbed it on my leg.
Yep.
Yeah, that's to draw the.
Yeah.
I got stung by a man of war when I was a kid, and they put ammonia on it.
Ammonia?
Yeah.
Oh,
God.
probably your skin was peeling off.
I mean, they drove me down far away to some woman. I don't even know who she was. And she poured ammonia on my leg, and I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
She have all her teeth. We might watch her show.
She's some kind of, medicine woman or something. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't even know if that is something you're supposed to do to a man of war sting. I don't know, but I just remember.
I've never heard of that.
Jellyfish and all that kind of stuff, they used to put ammonia on it. The lifeguards would keep it on their lifeguard stations at the beach.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So I don't.
Or like
I'm not saying
bacteria.
Do what?
Is that more to kill like the bacteria for whatever the fish is carrying, or?
I have no idea.
Because it did not take the sting out. I'll tell you that.
Oh my God! I could just imagine.
A medical professional.
Wow.
My grandmother was working in her garden, and she fell, and she lived with my aunt, and my aunt called my mom, and my mom got in the car and had to go over there. And my grandmother's arm, her leg was swelling up, and mom's like, "We need to take you to the emergency room and get you X-rayed." I'm good. I just go get me some brown paper bags and some clay from down at the creek over there, and I'll take care of it. My mother's like,
"Oh my gosh.
You get your butt in the car. We're going to go to the emergency." She had 2 breaks in her leg.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, they were not all broken all the way through, but she had breaks in them, and so she was in a cast. She was in a cast for however long they did back then. But she was gonna just fix it up with some clay and some brown paper bags.
Oh my gosh.
And vinegar. Don't know what the hell the vinegar was going to do to her. To a broken bone, but nowadays if you read, vinegar has all kinds of healing.
There's some things that only Western medicine can fix. That's for sure. Can't just put some paper bags on it.
And that was not the only thing. She'd come up with some of these wild ass love sickness.
Wow.
What was it? Something in turpentine, vinegar and turpentine. That would cure you of love sickness. Yeah, it'll cure you. It kill you. Turpentine.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Hey, Chick Picker, I have a question for you. I am listing this hat on Poshmark. It's that Southwest Airlines hat. And when it says size, it says choose boy or girl. It's a kid's hat. I don't want it to be a boy or a girl.
So unisex.
When you put custom, you put one size, then it says that size is already available.
Can you do custom?
Well, that's what I was trying to do. But when I do one size, it says it already has a one size under boy and girl.
Can you do unisex?
I'm just going to do like a space or something, I guess, and just make it not.
Because I would put in custom, I would put unisex.
Yeah.
unisex.
When you get a second, Beth, would you slide to the left or the right?
Who?
Beth. Isn't it Beth? The 10 of hearts?
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Just slide to the left or to the right.
Why?
Okay, everybody. We need to send Beth some boxes of stuff. She has nothing in her room back there. everybody else has stuff piled up.
No, that you haven't seen the rest of my house. I have a shed that's full, a garage that's full, and my guest bedroom is terrible. Whenever my daughter comes over, I have to scramble to find things so she'll have a place to lay down.
Oh God.
No.
So you are a reseller.
Yes.
You're one of us.
I just
And my dining room table is full of parts right now.
That's all.
Other than her lights and her mannequins, I just didn't see nothing back there. And most people, they've got stuff piled up and stacked up.
That's because Sunday is the day to clean my office. It's in my bullet journal. Mm-hmm. That just means I straighten. Now, Saturday was terrible. And it'll be that way again by Thursday.
Yep.
Get it.
Cool. Get it.
Who was that?
Don't stop. Get it. Get it.
I lost my cha-ching, so it's not me.
Did it hurt?
Joanna says, my great-great-grandmother was a medicine woman. So we have doctored ourselves a lot. The old remedies sometimes work better. Mm-hmm. I believe that.
I don't remember what it was, but my grandmother used to grind up some root, and that's what she used for antacid. And then she ground up another root, and she used that for like aspirin. Which, aspirin and stuff had to come from something, so, right. They probably took these old home remedies and put the scientific touch to them to find out what's going on. And what my grandmother did, she hated going to a doctor. It cost too much.
Yep. Hey there, Junk Girl.
Hi, Junk Girl.
He's another one from North Carolina.
Yeah, she's up, I think, up on your side of the town.
What?
On your daughter's side of town.
Yeah, near Mooresville. Yeah, we'll definitely have to get
Valerie
together.
I hear you're staying in San Marcos. That's where I went to school. And
really?
A must place to go eat is called Grins.
What is it called?
Grins, Grins. Okay. All you have to do is ask somebody, where's Grins? And they can tell you it's been there for 35, 40 years. It's the most amazing place. Awesome. And it's not expensive.
Sweet.
And also, you need to go get a Mansky roll. And you can get a Mansky roll from a place called Gil's Diner on LBJ Boulevard. And it is a humongous cinnamon roll, and it's covered with butter, and it's probably got about 4,000 calories in it.
Wow.
And a big glass of milk, and it's amazing. And that's
I thought you were going to say that she needed to get her a man.
Well, that too. But I would not suggest getting one from San Marcos. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay. Well, thank you for the heads up.
Those two places are a must if you're in San Marcos, Texas.
I've never have really had a big desire to go to a bunch of little towns in Texas, but I think I'm gonna have to go to San Marcos because that cinnamon roll sounded to die for.
They used to have it in the stores in the frozen section, but I don't know that it really took off, and it was nothing like the real deal.
Huh.
Because we tried them. That was one of the biggest things I missed when I moved back home was the Mansky roll.
Yeah. I'll definitely put that on my list.
And you can't eat anything beforehand because it's a full meal. And you will have a sugar rush like you will not believe.
Wow.
Or you can split it with somebody, I guess. But
yeah. That sounds awesome.
Valerie and Valerie on a sugar high.
Yeah, imagine that.
They're like to be like two 10-year-old girls running down the street.
Hey, Tom, you and I have matching measuring tapes today. This is always around my neck because I can't ever find it.
Well, I have a little girl cat, and she brings me stuff in the middle of the night. And I've been looking for this daggum tape measure because it has both the ends on it. And she came dragging it up to me in the middle of the night. And first of all, I thought she threw a snake on me. Because when you're completely asleep, and all of a sudden something falls on you that's long and slender.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Freaks me out a little bit.
What? Yeah.
So now I'm just wearing it around my neck so I don't lose it, or she doesn't take it from me again. I guess she had it.
Well, guys, I hate to end this, but I gotta get some shipping done. I can get all my packages out.
Okay.
Valerie said San Marcos has developed quite a bit over the last few years. Haven't been to Grins in a couple of years. Well, we're gonna have to go there.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live there anymore. It's totally changed, but the food is so good.
Is it a bad change?
Yes.
Beth, is it a bad change?
Is what?
Is it a bad change or?
Well, it is if you know the old San Marcos, yeah, because the people are not, it's a college town, and there's just way too many people in there now. The traffic is just horrible now, and the people are, the college kids today are just, what I'm seeing, are rude, not like before, but it's still beautiful and all that. It's a lot more traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
would you say that it would be better to live like on the outskirts?
Yes. I was telling you, Kyle, Dripping Springs, Wimberley's way too expensive. That's where my daughter lives. But Kyle, Dripping Springs, Buda, B-U-D-A, where Bridget saw that hoarder house. One of my best friends and her husband just purchased a house there that was a model home. And they got it at for nothing. And they're just the office was the garage. So now they're just filling it in to make it a real garage. And then they get to move in. They're getting all the furniture, everything that was in the model home.
Wow.
There's also another town called Leander outside of Austin that's pretty popular too, I think. So yeah, any of the smaller towns. Yeah.
Okay.
San Marcos is just way too, I don't know.
Yeah, she said Kyle or Lockhart.
Lockhart is another one. That's where Debbie Pinching Pesos lives. That's where I actually did my student teaching. I haven't been to Lockhart in a while, so I'm not really sure what it's like, but I'm sure they have the best barbecue at Lockhart.
Yeah, Valerie said that's why I live in Martindale.
I lived in Martindale, believe it or not. I've never met anyone else that's lived in Martindale. It was population 101, and I was the one on the 101, and I was so excited to be on the sign. And I have looked for a house in Martindale, and they're just not selling. It's just a little bitty neighborhood, basically. It's all it is.
Yeah.
And
so is that where you live at now, out in that area?
I live in Houston.
Oh, you live in Houston.
Yeah.
You live in a big city.
So.
Interesting. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We got the listing challenge tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and that will go till 4 Central Standard Time. And I'm going to start packing away. So.
All right. You have fun with all that.
Yeah. We'll see y'all later. And have a great day and get lots of sales. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.